This is the game one of a series between Evil Geniuses and VG Gaming. Switching back to this. But this is a mid-hero day. We're going to be focusing on the Ember Spirit, who looks like will be going mid, perhaps with Lich or alone. That will remain to be seen. They are, however, grouping up in their jungle. This was from the recent ESL New York. Game one of that series. And Super did some excellent Ember Spirit play that really gave EG some trouble. Over here on the EG side, we're going to see Fear supporting, backing up Arteezy on the Lycan. He's going to be looking to contest that rune at the 0-second mark. I doubt that's going to be a Witch Doctor mid. It will probably be Zai on the Beastmaster mid. He's already gotten pooled 2 tangles. Ice 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 played Elder Titan several games in this tournament. He might be the subject of another daily soon. He's going to be playing the off lane. And it looks like they'll have Brewmaster in the safe lane with a FY Skywrath Mage supporting. It actually looks like it's Fenrir who's going to come mid and block these creeps as we see them slowly coming out. I always like to see how good of a job the pros do with blocking these and how close they can get that first creep wave to their tower to make the farm that much easier on the first wave. We see it's not in the middle, it's slightly over towards the VG side. Excellent advantage. We're going to keep it on the last hits for this first part of the game, as we see Super is going to be concentrating on that, but he's also going to have Lich helping to support him. Not quite as typical that we'll see 2 heroes in lane, but Lich will be able to use his sacrifice ability to pull the lane back, and once he starts maxing out Frost Blast, able to provide a little extra utility and damage output for the Ember, who will need to get farmed before he can really start one-shotting heroes. Switching up to the top lane, we're going to have that Brewmaster and Skywrath Mage already getting significantly low, but not as low as the Nature's Prophet, quickly already having to eat through his tangos. Beastmaster using his wild axes, recently changed to physical damage, so they will go through the Ember Spirit's Flame Guard. Looks like he still hasn't chosen his first talent yet. We'll probably see that shortly. And down here in the safe lane we see Lycan starting off in the safe lane, farming things up with Fear and the Witch Doctor very aggressively zoning out this Elder Titan. But back to the mid lane. It's a minute 40 in. The first runes are going to be coming up. 7 last hits coming out for Super. Slightly ahead of the Beastmaster, who only has 2. But this is a 2-on-1 lane, and we see Fenrir rotating to get this 2-minute rune. There's a pause in this game, but this is a replay, so we can just fast forward through it. It's a minute 56. They're going to be discussing that our hero here was actually DC'd Ember Spirit. That's one of the reasons why he was so aggressively far. Let it go. Apparently, in China, Disney's Frozen has reached all the way across the sea. The cold never bothered him anyway. Not sure if that's a Lich joke or not. So we're going to let the game resume. And presumably they're going to let Ember Spirit back off. Yep. He backs off, but does immediately pop his Flame Guard, and he's just going to get back to farming. 240 HP is low, but he knows that Beastmaster's Wild Axes only does 70 damage. He's going to be a little behind on the levels compared level 3. About level 3.5 with Beastmaster, though. However, Lich is going to be sacrificing these creeps, so it's going to be limiting Zai's farm a little bit as well. A little harassment coming out from this boar. I'd like to add, though, shouldn't be too much of a concern for Ember Spirit. This says 26 damage. I think it's a little over a second on the attack timer. But it's piercing damage for anyone unfamiliar with this board, so that means it takes half damage to towers and half damage to heroes. That'll be about 13 damage per second. And once you factor in the Stout Shield, not much that Ember Spirit's going to have to worry about. He can just continue farming up his lane. You can see he's doing that quite effectively. 3-minute mark, 14 last hits, averaging about 5 a minute. Quite respectable. Slash, an additional 47 gold goes his way. Just making sure he can get all those last hits. In another 30 seconds, we'll see runes up. He does have the bottles, so he will be looking to contest every single one of the runes. Possibly why PPD has joined Beastmaster mid, just trying to help him out with this farm. The 2-on-1, not favoring Zai. He's only at 9 last hits. Super starting to double him up. Level 4 coming out. So we'll see the rank 2 Searing Chains. And at the 55-second mark, they are here to contest the rune. It's a 2-on-2 now, a 3-on-2, with Skywrath Mage rotating. Very important that Ember Spirit's able to get these early runes. And the boar runs away. I think he actually did 0 damage to Ember Spirit there. Super just letting the lane pull back to the safety of his tower, and he's continuing to farm. In our other lanes, we see Arteezy. Now level 4 has rotated into the jungle with his rank 2 wolves, and that's quite a good double stack here. He might be farming that up later. In the top lane, we have Black farming up very effectively. Universe mostly getting zoned. He's going to have a hard time, especially with FY rotating with his potential smoke gank. And here it is going off, body blocking him a little bit. Black eats out of the Sprout, a little delayed there, and it will save Universe's life. But back to the mid lane, Super, continuing to farm. That was a turnaround on the Skywrath Mage with Fear, having to rotate in. That Flame Guard, rank 2 now. The Boar, I will mention, in addition to the paltry piercing damage, he does do a 20% movement speed slow and a 20% slow. Super just continuing to farm up here. He's up to 800 gold. He does have his boots. Still has this haste rune. And he's up to rank 3 on the Flame Guard. That's really going to help him negate potential magical damage coming out. Lich continuing to help him with a Frost Armor now as an added buff. And the haste rune is off. He spends it at the 6-minute mark to ensure that he can use his bottle charges and then get a rune unabated.
Over my dead body.
"30 last hits, still double our Beastmaster, who's having to run back. He's going to have 2 boars now. Just sending those to scout, maybe help out Universe in this offlane. He's not having the greatest of times. He's getting a fair amount of levels. We see it's really PPD on this Witch Doctor who suffered the most for levels. He's going to be lane pulling to try and help that out. But it's going to be a smoke gank at the 7-minute mark for Ember Spirit. He has a rank 3 Flame Guard. They will, in addition to the illusions, find Arteezy. Frost Blast comes out. And the Remnant, or rather the Flame Guard, will be enough damage to take down that Lycan. He was farming hard, trying to push into the rank 1 net worth. And we're going to see another pause come out. This is a replay, so we can just breeze right through this. I doubt that that particular death was the result of lag. Probably just local lag in the game. And we see Ember Spirit at the 7-minute mark, leaving Lich to occupy the lane alone, still continue to harass Zai, and he's just waiting. He has his Fire Remnant to hop in. He's being very aggressive here. Searing Chains going off. The damage substantial onto Visage, but not quite enough to get the kill. Instead it will be Ice Ice Isu Balls with the rotation from Universe and PPD coming in to assist with the Paralyzing Cask. But nonetheless, it's the 7:50-minute mark, so as Super rotates back up, he only has to sit by this rune for about 10 seconds. And with the new changes in 6.82, he will always be rewarded with a rune. Fills back up his bottle. And then quickly rotates back into lane. 800 hit points on this Beastmaster. Super's not sure if he can secure a kill here, but he would love for Zai to overextend. And he has about 30 more seconds to wait. Meanwhile, in his top lane, Black, FY, really, at this point, just getting free farm. Universe, he's level 6, but he's had to retreat back to the safe lane. Rank 3 on Flame Guard, just continuing to farm up. He has a total of 40 last hits at the 8-minute mark. And he'll continue to farm. Using a defensive Fire Remnant here. He has his phase boots, really going to help him just continue these fights, continue the uptime on Flame Guard, get as close as possible to his enemies, and of course help him escape if they do turn around to attempt a kill on him. Speaking of kills, we have a rotation coming out from our Brewmaster and Lich. It's going to be on Universe. Blink Dagger is out on Black. Fenrir trying not to use the Chain Frost. He will have to save it. Falling. And this might be a 2-for-1, but Super, here he is. Excellent Sleight of Fist on PPD. Starting to force him low. But we will see the Familiars claim a kill. The 10-minute mark, he will not be able to reap the rewards of this rune. Instead, he'll be down for 18 seconds. And it's 5-2 in favor of VG. He was able to farm up those phase boots first, though. Very critical gap closing mechanism. And the bottle will help with the sizable mana cost of some of these abilities, although 110, 110, 150, not too shabby. You can see with his base mana pool of 400, that's about all the mana Ember Spirit needs. With that, he can get off a successful combo of spells, as he just did with the assistance of Elder Titan on Visage. Rotating back down into the bottom lane, and now he's rotating. He's not sure if there was a rune here, but there will be. He'll expend his bottle charges, and then immediately fill back up his bottle. Black has occupied this mid lane. And Super rotating back to mid. He's maxed out his Flame Guard first. Excellent bit of magical damage. It increases up to 20 seconds, which will be great DPS as he continues to chase people with the phase boost. We've also seen he's picked up a magic wand. Excellent ability for when he gets into these fights. If they do start pouring in spell abilities to him and he gets low, he can expend the wand, get a little extra HP, and get a little extra mana back. That could be enough to get off that last Sleight of Fist to get away that last Fire Remnant. As he turns on Flame Guard. Backing up a little bit though, those wolves do a significant amount of damage, especially with Arteezy in lane. 46 plus 16 with a 1.7 crit chance. The 12-minute mark passes and Super gains another rune. Meanwhile, at the bottom room, we see a fight coming out. Visage will fall, Chain Frost coming out, bouncing. It bounces back to the creeps and up to Zai. He's low, and here comes Super. He has phase boots in. He's in Viz right now. 300 mana, he can get off a full salvo of spells. And he gets the Sleight of Fist on PPD. He's trying to port out.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But the Flame Guard proves to be too much damage. They're diving even deeper here. They'd like to get a kill on Universe. They get the stun off with Brewmaster, and a double kill goes out to Super. He is quickly shot up to 1,000 gold. He's using the bottle to get back up in HP and mana.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
He's getting a nice sleight of fist off on Fear. Gets him down to about half health, but he'll have to retreat. Thinking about going back in there, as you saw. Ember Spirit's also chosen to pick up a Bracer, just giving him a little more stats and durability damage. I don't blame him. Doesn't need to save up for that Battle Fury this early in the game at the 13-minute mark. He's able to get quite a lot done. As we can see, he already has 2 kills with only 1 death. His bottle is empty though. He'll be looking to presumably rotate to get this rune in about 30 seconds. But the more pressing issue is this lane being pushed out by Arteezy and Fear. Ice 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 is doing all he can
Structures are fortified.
to zone the enemies out. Arteezy very low, 470 HP.
Dire's top tower
And we see
is
Super
under attack.
coming in. He has ice armor on him. A defensive remnant goes out before the fight. The tower will
Dire's
fall
bottom tower
to
has
Visage.
fallen. Dire's
And it
top
looks like
tower
it'll be
is under
PPD
attack. Dire's structures
to get the
are
rune.
fortified.
Super instead chooses to port up to the top lane now. Doesn't want to give up both of his outer towers early on. And with the help of the Flame Guard and a Sleight of Fist to cancel Nature's Prophet's teleport, gets an easy one-on-one kill. He also saves the tower and just continues farming up. With that 5 ice armor, he's up to 35 physical damage resistance as well. And with the help of that kill, he'll be starting on his Drums of Endurance, just going to give him a little extra mana from the Robe of the Magi. Builds into the Bracer, but also just extra speed. With this Flame Guard getting off the ability, it's going to be running for 20 seconds. It's 60 damage per
top
second,
tower is
so as
under
long as he can
attack.
just keep up and continue chasing. It should be a favorable engagement.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Universe will defend the tower as we see our Ember Spirit going back to base. He's picking up the drums. He's at 377 move speed, and because he put down a remnant before he left, instantly back into lane.
My bosom, buddy. Oh, look at me go.
They're trying to go in on Super, but the Fire Remnant protecting him very well. And he does have that defensive remnant that he moves back to. Uses a bottle charge and hops back into the fight. Chain Frost coming in. It's a kill on 2. Sleight of Fist onto Visage. Super's low. He will fall, but Black will get the kill on Visage. Ember Spirit died, but did pick up
Radiant's
2
top
more
tower
assists
is
there.
under attack.
And it looks like with the help of Black and Fenrir now in lane, they will be able to claim a kill on this outer tower. Meanwhile, Arteezy
Radiant's
just
structures
continuing to
are
farm up
fortified.
frantically in the jungle. He is first on net worth, but we can see a
Radiant's top
trio
tower
of
is under
VG
attack.
players in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th spots.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
EG Universe continuing to port as well. It's 16 minutes in, the towers are falling, and we're going to use that point in the game to take a relaxing music break. This is what I would consider the end of the laning phase, the early part of the game. We've seen a couple towers fall, and we're seeing a lot more rotations coming out from our heroes, a lot more group team fights, and our mid lane is just turning into our mid heroes for the mid game. Ember Spirit already has a couple items, a significant amount of last hits from that duo mid lane. So we're going to take a break, enjoy some relaxing music, and come back after this.